For the first 20 years of my life, I had no idea I was gay. I wasn't in denial or closeted. I was in the matrix. Plugged into 17 years of conservative Catholic schooling. I knew no openly gay people, only effeminate priests. And I didn't identify as gay for the same reason I didn't identify as a magical purple dragon with tiny wings and a home by the sea. You can't identify as something you don't believe exists. So I watched Boys Don't Cry alone in my parents' basement, feeling funny in my pants, and rewinding the sexy parts over and over again. And in my free time, I dated men. In college, I developed a very close relationship with my best male friend, a dude with the same first and last name. I'll call him Carl. Carl was wild. The life of the party. He stole a lot. Stupid things like beer steins and bulk cereal boxes were smuggled out of their homes under his North Face jacket and would appear at whatever party he was attending later that night. I loved hanging out with him, being thrown up on his shoulders during concerts and football games, and playing his crazy drinking games wherein all rules led to shotgunning a beer. Usually, after many such beers shotgunned, we would end up making out, without much interest on my part. He was just so into it. I didn't want to mess up our friendship by letting him know that I could have done without his chapped lip, natty light kisses. I mean, it was fun. Kissing is a lot of times fun. It's palpably hard to make kissing not fun. But at the end of the night, I always wanted to go home. Things never went very far between Carl and I, but they didn't go very far for a long time. Years. In fact, it was such a long time that during the interim, I acquired another such enamored pal, Kyle. Kyle had the biggest hookah on campus. His ever-present apple-flavored tobacco smell was homey, and he bore a striking resemblance to Elvis, with a Jesus beard and long curly hair. He looked like Jesus / Elvis, the King of Kings. The Kyle-Carl dating confusion was perfect for me. One was my best friend, the other a dreamy stranger. It was a solid teen movie rationalization for why I didn't want to sleep with either of them. A John Cryer versus Andrew McCarthy update on my I'm too religious stance from high school. And it was during this moment of climactic hetero tension that I met Callie. She was from New York and Korean. She was beautiful and witty and intriguing and had weird friends, and I never wanted to go home. At first, we both thought what we were building was a friendship. We created inside jokes, attempted to have sleepovers in one another's dorm rooms. Is that normal? I don't know. And wrote each other long, many stickered notes. We spent so much time together that we started to dress alike, and one particular dull bulb tossing a frisbee asked if we were sisters. Callie's Korean. One day of the trip, we went to a shanty town that had been overtaken by the city's dump. Over time, the buildup of trash and the increase in the squatter population had bled the two together, and the homes stood on a sea of flattened cardboard and filthy plastics. Our group hung there for the day, reading books aloud to the kids at the school, and eating lunch at a local tin roof restaurant. Our visit to the shanty town happened right at the end of our 2 weeks in Jamaica. A few nights after our return to campus, one night after a drunken Carl makeout, Callie and I split a bottle of red wine, only taking a short break between glasses to walk down the hall and visit Kyle. We stayed just long enough for me to get a welcome home kiss from Kyle before Callie and I headed back to my dorm room. I don't think we had even cleared the door frame before we were smooching. Bumping through the room with lips locked, my hands all up on her smooth, girly face. Her lips were so well moisturized. The curve of her neck so delicate. I felt like it was the first real kiss in my entire life, and I was losing my mind. Then I heard the door to our room open, and reflexively threw Callie backwards over an armchair with all of my force. She landed upside down, facing away from me, so that when my roommate Kinga walked in, she walked into the nonsensical arrangement of our not facing each other at all and mumbling nonsense words. Something along, "We haven't been kissing." Shortly after Kinga's entrance, Callie went home. So just to get the numbers right, I had kissed 3 people in 2 days, one of whom was my first girl kiss. The next morning, I woke up totally freaked out, utterly filled with bliss, and itchy on my face. What I was scratching felt odd, particularly geometric even, and a look in the mirror revealed a completely round circle of bumps on my cheek, like a zit crop formation. And whatever it was growing, inflaming with each touch, a scarlet O etched upon my skin, surely alerting others to my newfound preference for ovaries. My very flesh crying out against my great sin. Or ringworm, as a doctor's visit soon told me. I'd most likely picked up the fungus in the Kingston shantytown, and somehow had gotten it only on my face. There are only a few things more disturbing to a very religious kid during her "holy crap, I'm gay" moment than exorcist-type lettering appearing on her face. But amongst those things is probably having to make 3 separate phone calls to 3 separate people, alerting them to the highly contagious fungus they may have been rubbed on with during our moments of passion. Kyle and Carl both took the news in stride, arriving in pretty close succession to check on me, but thankfully missing one another. And then I had to call Callie. Stakes were huge. I wanted to tell her she was already the love of my life, that while I was sure we were going to hell, I was also sure that hell would be awesome. But it came out, "Hey Cal, last night was amazing, and I don't regret a thing." Well, I might regret one thing. How itchy would you say your face and hands are today? And then I waited. Now, neither Kyle, nor Carl, nor Callie thought they were seeing me exclusively, but they also didn't really know exactly who else I had been kissing, and the time proximity of those other kisses to our kisses. We shared a small enough extended circle of friends, though, that if more than one of them developed a ringworm, time frames and linkages would become pretty obvious. I longed for the days of a more anonymous STD, and waited for the inevitable meeting of 2 fungus lovers in the cafeteria. But I never got a call of complaint. As far as I know, my ringworm was never passed on. And I'd like to say that the stress of that possibility focused my dating life a bit. I guess maybe it did, because Callie and I dated for over 3 years. Carl and Kyle? Well, I just dated them for another 1.5 years.